So down there is the road you'll come in off 55, probably about a quarter mile into camp here. As you can tell, we got a nice big parking lot here. Plenty of room to park. My vehicle's over there, hasn't been touched for the entire week. But I know with myself, I like to start with a good top-down overview of the camp itself. So if you notice here, you see that river running right through the middle of the compound. On the bottom half is the main compound where you spend most of your day doing the activities, merit badges, and things like that. And the little triangles are the actual campsites. Here in the main compound, there is no cell phone coverage. Yeah, I shouldn't say none. Very, very sparse. You get voice and text only. At the time of this video, it was very difficult to get any kind of a 4G signal, so plan for that. Now what's ironic is the campsites across the river there at the top of the map, those get much better coverage. But of course there's no AC power out in the campsites. So again, down in the main compound is where you're going to spend most of your day and all the activities. So we'll take you on a quick little walk here. So as we pan back, that building right there is for the the outfitting. So a lot of the people are doing the the more extreme adventure activities, whitewater rafting and things like that. And that's where you go to get your gear. Beyond that tree line is the shooting range and archery. Across the road back here is climbing wall toward the back, and other areas for games and training and other activities. And panning back around here, we're going to walk right up this road. Here's the main office where everybody's coming in. And up over here. Good morning. Up over here we have a lodge. That's where the first aid and the visitors lodge is. Now the visitors lodge is pretty nice because on the left side is an adults only lounge, and in here they always have some coffee for us adults to grab, and there's really good facilities inside, for going to the bathroom, and there's a little kitchenette in there where you can wash out your coffee cup and maybe keep a few things cold in the refrigerator. But again, there are no kids allowed in that left side, so it's a nice little place to come up and hang out. If it's really hot, it's air conditioned in there, and again, just a nice place to come and relax and read and catch up on things. They do have Wi-Fi here. Wi-Fi is pretty expensive. They charge $10 for a 7-day 250 megabyte limit. Now, that 250 megabytes these days goes very, very fast, even if you're not doing any streaming of audio or video. That's one of my very small complaints about the camp is that's pretty expensive. But at the same time, they're probably trying to discourage you from coming up here and spending all day on the internet anyway. So we pass around over here. Again, this is the main compound. Maybe a couple words of advice. Oftentimes when you show up, you're going to be taking your swim test right when you get here. It's a 75-yard swim test, so you got to go back and forth with a forward stroke, and then back on a backstroke, and then just basically lie on your back to float. It's very easy. Pretty much anybody can do it. It's not a race, but my advice there is make sure you are either wearing your swim trunks already or put them in an area where you can quickly change into them. Don't keep them in the trailer. When you arrive on site, you're gonna have your trailer here, but then they're going to pick it up and bring it along the back dirt access roads and drop it off in your campsite for you. So big advice again, wear your swim trunks or hurry up and get them out of the trailer. Maybe pack them in your personal vehicles. One of the other problems we had is we had all of our health forms and other paperwork in our trailer, so that delayed our check-in until we could get back to the site and dig them out of the trailer. So try to have all your paperwork and forms and your swimsuit ready to go with a towel, and that will definitely make your check-in very speedy. All right, let's continue on. Again, here we got the main office. I'm gonna walk down this little road here. Of course, there's a bunch of scouts and other folks that are staffing the camp. A lot of them live in that building. We pan around here. That building down there is the trading post and commissary. We'll come back to that. And we're going to walk along the parade grounds here. And we got our crafts pavilion. And I'm walking towards aquatics. Essentially what they have here is a man-made pond. They call it their pool. It's pretty small compared to some other camps, but it's definitely sufficient for what we did. I spent a lot of time out here myself. They do the buddy system everywhere in this camp, so you're either walking around in 2s or 3s, and when you come into the aquatics area, it's pretty regulated procedurally. You have tags that get filled out depending on how you've done in your swim test, and there's only certain things you can do. You can either be a full swimmer, or you can be a beginning swimmer, or a non-swimmer. So when you check in here, there's usually a guard up in the tower here. That's actually something I volunteered to do quite a bit this week as a parent looking to help out, because you know, the guards are can either be up there checking kids out, or you know, if you have a parent volunteering up in the tower or somebody else, that frees up another staff member to go work with your scouts on merit badge activities and other things. So that's something I did quite a bit this week. I did it a couple hours every day to help out. But as you can see, when the kids come in, they'll grab their tags, and then they'll request permission to enter, and then they'll tell the guard where they're going, and they'll hang their tag up in their specific area. Also, in addition to swimming, of course, is the boating. Here we have kayaks, canoes, and rowboats. Same thing, you'll hang it on the board where of which activity you're going to be doing, and when you're switching activities, you switch your tag to that activity and request permission from the guard. So at all times doing any kind of water activity, there's pretty strict procedures in place to regulate where you're going, and at any given time a count can be done to see you know how many heads are in each area to keep everybody accounted for and safe. But it's been real nice out here. Like any camp, you see how green it is, right? If it's green, that means it rains, and I'm sure we've all been on enough campouts to know that rain is just just part of the program. So obviously make sure you're bringing your rain gear, and your intents are in good order, and rain flies and all that. Walking over here by the commissary and trading post. Of course, all these kids, they just love the trading post, right? You head on in there and go, there's slushies and knives and carabiners and t-shirts and snacks and all that good stuff. So yeah, we've been in camp all week, and we've been roughing it, so to say, but it's been pretty easy for them to come down here and get their little comfort snacks from home. Now, how food works around here is they provide the food, but you do all the cooking and preparation. So as you organize into patrols, each patrol gets a big wicker basket that they wear on their back or their front, and they come down here to the commissary and they pick up their food for the day, and then they hump it back to camp where it's prepared, and then they bring the empty basket back and any leftovers after that. Alright, so that was a quick tour of the main compound. And again, this is where we really spent most of the daytime, other than the meals. So I'm going to take you on the walk back here. If you recall from our, at the beginning of the video, we showed a top-down look at where most of the campsites were, and you saw the river separated them. So it's a decent little walk back here. Oh, before I miss it, see this little trail running off to the side here. There's like an, and they call it the bowl, but it's a dugout auditorium in the back, and that's where we have our group campfires and things back there. We essentially had a welcome campfire, and then a bon voyage campfire. Lots of activities, and it was a lot of fun. It's kind of built into the side of the hill, and they dug it out to make benches, and it's pretty cool. All right. So we're going to be leaving the compound now and walking across the river out to the campsites. And following somebody here. See, these guys are doing the same thing I'm doing, taking some photos before they leave. Hi guys. How you doing? Good. Alright, so got a nice little suspension bridge here. All week there was a big old turtle down here. I don't see him this morning. We're walking out. Really, really pretty out here. As you can see, lots of big boulders in the river. So this used to be a logging camp a long time ago. That's where the Gardner Dam came from. They dammed up the river to raise the level of the water above these rocks so they could bring logs down easily. And when you come out here, you'll hear the whole story of how there was a big storm one night and everybody was too drunk and they forgot to they didn't release the water quick enough, and the dam burst and killed 5 loggers. And so the scouts all learned that story, and there's a song they sing and an ode to Gardner Dam. All right, so coming out across the river, we're starting to get into the camping areas now, and we start splitting into different areas. As you can see, trails going off to the different camp zones. So it's a nice little walk, a nice little nature walk every time you go back and forth, So if you don't want to do a lot of walking, make sure you have a good day pack and you're keeping all your essentials in that day pack as you go from the compound to your campsite. It's a pleasant walk. Notice the ground, however. It's a very, very rocky area. Lots of boulders everywhere, as you can see, and tree roots. So be prepared, have some good shoes, and watch out for all the rocks and tree roots as you walk back here. But as you can see, it's just beautiful back here. Lots of nice grasses and ferns and moss. And even if it's really, really hot out in the compound and sunny, you come in here with all this shade and vegetation, and it feels like you're walking into an air-conditioned building. It's a really, really pleasant walk. And we'll just go ahead and keep the video rolling so you can enjoy the walk as much as I have all week. We're going to take you all the way back to our camp. While we're walking here, obviously that was a really, really nice river. The water's a bit low right now, but a lot of for the older boys, and they have tubing trips. They have kayaking, whitewater. So in certain spots, it can get pretty fast. The older boys had a lot of fun, they said. My son's not quite 13 yet, so we didn't do that. But we were watching from the bridge. It looked like a lot of fun. Alright, now we're coming up here. You might hear some of the voices in the background. You start to see the campsites where the light is in the clearing. Alright, there we split off. There's a couple campsites up here. Our campsite is over here. Our campsite is the Crife. So we're going to come on out here. And like I mentioned when I first started this video, this is our departure day. So you know, we're right at the point now of getting checked out. So all of our tents are torn down. They picked up our trailer already, and we're just awaiting final inspection, it appears. Looks like everybody's going through and doing a final police of the litter. And everybody's having fun. There's my son over there in the blue with his stick. And like any camp out, you always leave it cleaner than you found it. Facilities in each campsite are pretty nice. Again, everything is organized into patrols, so each patrol has their own shelter where we prepare the meals and gather. And toward the back is the latrine. Got a couple leaders there posing for me. And again, you know, we prepared our meals here all week. The food was very good. The scouts did a great job preparing it. Everything was very tasteful. Like, I can't complain about the meals whatsoever. And anyway, the food that was provided for us was very good quality. Scouts did a great job preparing it. Again, there's definitely no power out here, so you know, plan for that. If you need power, charge up your phones and all that. That's where that adult, you know, the lodge up there by the visitor center is for. And latrine is very clean, not smelly at all. Well, by latrine standards anyway. It's always going to smell a little bit. Good running water toward the right of it for keeping your hands washed and brushing your teeth and all that. But yeah, I think that's a good wrap for the overview of Gardner Dam Camp. You know, again, I'm just a parent who came up here. You know, it's been a great week. I really don't have any complaints whatsoever. And I hope to come back. Thanks for watching.